what were the presentations of symptoms that you first were like, okay, something is really, really off?
Sure. So, to be fair, I used to cheat maybe once a week with gluten, right? So for about 10 years, this was prior to me having my daughter.
Oh, you're a cheater. Love
I
it.
was, because I just thought, oh, like maybe, a little headache is, or a bad headache is okay, but I could keep
Yeah.
it at bay. So, but since I had, like when I got pregnant and things like that, I fully cleaned it up because I was like, I can't have migraines anymore with a child. So my diet was perfect, right? I didn't eat I don't need sugar, maple syrup, honey, any of that, no grains. And then I still felt horrible. I got all the joint pain again. I had crazy brain fog. I was really tired. And again, I chalked it up to sitting and being at a desk and then just being on in front of a screen all day too. And I just thought this isn't totally right, And
Mm-hmm.
so again, like I said, I ran all the labs and I was like, oh my gosh, of course, this is just, there's a lot here to work on. And then we tested our house, and basically because it was in the HVAC, like I stopped testing our home at 6 rooms because it was positive in every room. And even our inspector just said, oh, we used your house as an example of one of the worst cases we've seen with almost no visible mold, right? Like everything looked great. So you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But it was like I said, I stopped at 6 rooms with high levels of multiple types of mycotoxins.
And what type of testing did you do specifically?
Sure. So this is such a huge, thing. Everyone wants to know. So I so with testing, I just had someone come out and inspect, and I only did a few rooms at first, right? I wanted a smaller inspection because it's expensive. And, but I have a company I love here in Los Angeles, and then they do, right, like air sample testing, control sample, visual inspection, and then plus they'll take surface sample testing. So unfortunately, most of my clients, you can't just do air samples, you will miss stuff, right? I have clients with beautiful, pristine air samples, and they have so much hidden mold, and they're still very sick. So I have, you know what I mean? So unfortunately, you can't just do one thing. You can't just do the inexpensive test plates and send them off, right? And then there's the dust test, which is like a surface sample. And then you're gathering dust from different places around the home. And that's where you can kind of see if there's some hidden testing. And again, ours were extremely high in all of these. So unfortunately, it's not that easy, but I do tell clients, like, you can go in order of cost, right? But it's also to take a look and see and kind of learn to look for signs as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say my recommendation to somebody, if you're really concerned and you just want to put your mind at ease, you're going to test the body to see what's coming out of the body. You're going to test the air to see what's in the home. You're going to have a sample outdoor air to see what's outside your home. And then you do also do a surface test. And I don't like the trays. There was goodness, I can't remember the test, but they would literally send you either a little cloth that you'd swipe and you do 10 surfaces and send it back. It's been a long time since I've done that one.
That's an ERMI test, right?
An ERMI test, right? Did the ERMI. But if you can triangulate the data, and then for the air samples, indoor, outdoor, bedroom, living room, second bedroom, I've been using Got Mold. I've been using Jason Earle's test. But you gotta look everywhere, especially if there's symptoms. That's I think that we want to focus on.
And when it's in your body, right? I do use the urine mycotoxin testing. I like Vibrant's the best. It has the most amount of markers, about 3 times as much as Mosaic or Real Time. So I use Vibrant because you can get a pretty clean test on a Mosaic one, and when you still have symptoms, then it's, you know what I mean? It's just also because you're not using the most comprehensive test. The other thing is some people are using a blood test, and you can use that. But again, they test differently. So again, if someone has if they have extra money that they want to use on testing, you could do both. But I still use urine mycotoxin testing the most. You just don't know if something's from a past exposure or not. But at the same time, when we find mold in someone's test, no matter what, it has to be addressed, right? It's usually to me, and what I've seen is because I run so many labs, I see it in about 95% of my clients that they have some sort of, like, let's just say 2 or 3 or more, and up to 10 or 11 types of mycotoxins. So it's really important. And because what it does by suppressing the immune system so much, it allows these other pathogens to flourish, like chronic Epstein-Barr or basically Lyme, right? And the co-infections, different types of viruses and pathogens. They're there hanging around because you've kind of like taken away the goalie, right? And so
Mm.
unfortunately, you need to address the mold. And that's why it's a huge piece of what I work on consistently while we address symptoms as well.
Yeah.